Jewish man is shipwrecked on an island. After a few years, he's rescued by a cargo ship, and the captain sees the man built 2 buildings. He asks, "What are those?" He says, "They're synagogues." He asks, "Why do you need 2 synagogues just for you?" He says, "That's the synagogue I pray in, and that's the one I would never set foot in." Judaism is as fractured as any other religious community, so what makes a Jew a Jew? Where did this small, pretty amazing group of people come from, and how did we get to be what we are today? The Nazis had their definition, so are you a Jew if Hitler wanted you dead? Do Nazis define who is a Jew? Does popular culture define it? Jews are funny, educated. Are we a religion? We have certain beliefs and that makes you Jewish? So in this series of videos, I'm planning to do an overview of Jewish history, and hopefully by the end, you'll have a deeper understanding of the different kinds of Jews and how we got to be what we are today, which is really impossible to do without a deeper understanding of Jewish history. So since we're talking about Jews, we need to go back a few thousand years. We have a long memory, at least my wife and my mother do, and I'm not so sure about myself. Timeline. So here we go. About 2000 BCE, Abraham, our ancestor, was living in Mesopotamia, which is modern-day Iraq. He came to the conclusion that there's one God. Some say God spoke to him, that he had a direct prophecy, and others, like the Rambam, who we'll have a whole video on later, says that he came to this conclusion through logic. But however he came to believe in one God, in the book of Genesis, the first book of the Bible, God speaks to Abraham and makes a covenant with him. And now a covenant is a 2-sided agreement. It says, I'll do this and you'll do that. The covenant is that Abraham will believe in and serve God, and in return his offspring will be as numerous as the stars of the heaven. And he didn't keep it a secret, Abraham. He wasn't shy about it. He told everybody about this revelation. Now that took some chutzpah. A teacher of mine once said that there are 2 types of people in the world. I know it's a little bit simplistic, but let's just go with it for the moment, alright? There are people that like to argue with everyone around them, and there are people that like to make trouble, to go against the current. In most of the world, the majority are the first kind, the pleasers. If someone makes an argument, they start to think of which parts they agree with, and they focus on that. Jews are predominantly the opposite. When someone makes an argument, we want to tear it apart, to go against the grain, to do it the hard way. It hasn't won us any popularity contests, but that's what it took for Abraham to look the whole world in the eye and say that everything comes from a single creator, to be the first religious particularist in a pagan world of anything goes. The Bible refers to Jews as a stiff-necked people. It's quoting God directly there, and it's not meant as a compliment. But nonetheless, there's a reason why many Jews take pride in being known as the most stubborn of people. There's a reason we laugh that the Arab name for a particularly hard kind of stone is Jewish stone. Because that hardness, though it's gotten us in a lot of trouble with man and God, is also the reason we've defied the world, with God's help, for 4,000 years, and continued to exist and spread our message of monotheism to this day.